Jabo Jabo. 10 hours to our flight.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl once again with another video. So you saw us leave Nairobi, head to Doha, go from Doha to Melbourne. Then in another video we are going to do from Melbourne to Brisbane and finally to Qatar. In today's video we are going to show you how we got to Doha, 21-hour layover plus an extra 1 hour. How we missed our intended flight from Doha to Australia, which was quite hectic because it was just 1 hour to get our boarding passes and to run to the next gate. So all that action is in the next few minutes or seconds, I guess. But first, before you go like the previous video. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed, and if you haven't, please just pause this video. Subscribe hapo chini. You don't want to miss out, so subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video and the previous video. So this is us. We had just settled in and we were looking for options to sleep. So we had two options. So right here I'm showing you the sleep and fly option, whereby you get for 6 hours you pay $77, which is at night, and $66 during the day. What you get here is a small bed, but it doesn't have food, neither does it have a shower option. So this is the sleep and fly option. The next one is the Oryx Lounge, which for 3 hours you pay $55. What you get is food and drinks, a quiet zone, Wi-Fi. This doesn't have a bed and doesn't have a shower. However, both of the options are not available when we needed them.
This is my pillow. Then my comfort. Then my blanket.
Jabo Jabo. 10 hours to our flight.
11 hours to
11 hours to our flight.
10 hours in the airport.
Yeah.
Another option for us was to go to the terminals that were less busy. So we are heading to Terminal D, which was quiet and it was not busy at all during the day. So this is in the morning hours. Here is where we had a rest for like 2 hours.
Hours at the airport, and this is what we are using to refresh ourselves. So facial cleanser for both our face and deodorant, toothpaste. This airport is hella massive. Anyway, so for the last 2 hours, actually 3 hours. This is where we've been chilling, like some lounge seats.
We still had a few more hours to go, so we just chose to do a little bit of exploring, and we took some few photos in the airport just for memory purposes. Our children must see this. This is going direct to the album because this was the journey of our life. This is us now heading to Melbourne. This wasn't our initial route. We were heading to Brisbane, but we were changed and we are now heading to Melbourne. You see how stressed we are. We are trying to get our paperwork in order so that when we get to Melbourne, at least things are smooth. Yeah, so stressful, but we thank God we got there.
So we finally got to Melbourne. It's a 14-hour flight. Getting to Melbourne, we were happy because finally we were actually now in Australia. This was just at the beginning of Omicron, so that is early December. That's when we got to Melbourne. So since we were coming with an international flight, we were subjected to 72 hours of quarantine. Up to that point, there were a bit of highs and lows. So the highs was we had a safe journey. I was a bit, I mean, if you've never been to a long flight, you don't know how you're going to cope. So fortunately, it was a long, safe flight. We did economy tickets. I would highly advise, if you can, go business. Because when we're not too tired, we were able to sleep through the flight. But I think the experience would be a bit better if we were doing business class or even first class, who knows. But I just pray to God to just bless our pockets for our next flight. We need to go business class. Anyway, we thank God, we arrived safe. I should have started with how the airport was amazing. World's best airport in 2021, and there's a reason for that, trust me. Like, there's a lot to do, whether you're traveling alone, whether you're traveling as a couple, whether you're traveling with a family, especially with kids. There's so much and so many things, like all the amenities and other facilities are there. You could book a hotel, you could eat. If you have a very long layover, there are some complimentary things depending on the flight ticket that you have. Shopping at duty free. Just check out Hamad International Airport, check out their website, and you can see the things that you can do once you get there. Good in-flight service. Qatar Airways hires globally, so all type of people, they can find there, and they were very, very friendly. Despite the stressful times that we are in, they were very efficient. And also, like for the meals, half a star or a quarter star lower from what you have experienced before. Alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, you can get tea, coffee, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what you get in an international flight, but all in all, good service. We're on good Wi-Fi for 1 hour, so that's also high because once you sleep, it's 14 hours. Once you sleep for 6 hours and then you wake up and you're still in the sky, there's nothing to do. You can log in for 1 hour and then you can go back to sleep for another 6 or 7 hours before you land in Melbourne. However, you can pay for onboard Wi-Fi by just, I think it's only $10. You pay $10 and you have Wi-Fi throughout. We needed it because we had a lot of documentation we had to do. So anyway, back to the news. Definitely the 14 hours, but there's nothing we can do. The sleeping arrangements. So this is the thing. So if you're planning to fly through a certain airport, just do your research and also book prior getting to your flight, because chances are when you get to the airport, those amenities will not be there, or the time that you want them, they're already booked. And the next time that they were opening up, it didn't make sense for us to pay for it since we will be already awake. There are plenty of places in that airport where you can sleep peacefully, but it won't be as restful, but it will be peaceful. So number 3, getting bumped off our flight. So this is a thing that has been happening with these airlines. They do it last minute, like the very last minute, because us, we were told at the gate going to board the plane that was supposed to, and they tell us, no guys, I will have to cut you off because blah 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 blah, we've reached our quota. But if there was a way that this could be arranged before you get to the gate, at least you are aware. So anyway, this had happened to us before, so it wasn't the first time. So even our reaction wasn't as dramatic, neither was it shocking, because our journey had not been easy. So we were ready, and we adjusted according to the way they told us to adjust. So that was one of our low moments, because at some point we were a bit confused. We were like, because they gave us an option that they weren't so sure about, and if we took it, probably would have missed that flight again. So we just went with what was seemed to be viable at the moment, and thank God it was, and we got here quickly. COVID preparedness paperwork. So here's the thing: when you're traveling during this pandemic, be prepared to fill forms, the tests that you're going to do. We understand it's for the safety of everyone, but oh my God, if there was a shortcut, like if there was a portal, like a global portal, where I could put everything that is required, because we just needed, first you have to have your updated PCR test results if you're flying in from anywhere in the world. Most airlines actually asking you to get the PCR results, which shouldn't be more than 72 hours. So the paperwork is just immense. That's all I'm saying. We got into quarantine for 72, isolation quarantine for 72 hours in Melbourne, whereby we think we could have managed not to go to isolation and come to Brisbane. You could land in Melbourne, don't leave the airport, book a flight to your final destination. We didn't know that was possible. Anyway, it was a good thing since we got to see our friends and we got to see Melbourne. Yeah, that's it for the highs and lows up to this point.
Not shaking hands or exchanging physical greetings, and wherever possible, staying in the least 1.5 meters away from vehicles.
We made it! Okay, not yet, but it's okay.
You know what? I'll just send you my thing that they gave, the pamphlet that you gave.
So this was the following morning when they brought us our breakfast stash. So this is me unpacking. So this breakfast stash was to last us for the 3 days that we were in quarantine. And we actually even left with some. It was a lot. So during quarantine, they deliver 3 meals per day. You have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Most of the lunch were cold meals, but dinner you'd get hot meals at least twice or once during your 72-hour stay. It is advisable to also stay active, just both for your physical and mental health, since there's nowhere you're going. You're locked in this room for 72 hours. You're not breathing fresh air, so you need to have a routine, and your routine should include having some physical exercise so that you can stay active. Another thing that you can incorporate in your routine is having maybe a skincare routine or a self-care routine. Since you have all the time in the world, pamper yourself. So here I'm showing you how we used to get our meals. So the person delivering our meal drops it at the door, then gives us a quick knock. You have to wait 30 seconds, wear your mask, then you open the door, pick your package, then that's it. No human contact at all. 72 hours later, and our COVID PCR results were back and we were negative. Therefore, we were free to go. This is us now leaving the quarantine hotel. We only had 24 hours in Melbourne, so we had to use it to the most. So we decided the next morning to head into town to do like a day tour with our friends.
Yeah, that is where the what we're doing. There's a letter to the here Fed Square. Don't get come on, yeah. Because you have vlogged my brother. Shoot.
After a few photos at the Federation Square, we went to the Botanical Garden, and also we went to the Shrine of Remembrance, which are just within the town, so like a 15-minute walk or a 5-minute tram ride.
Yes, for us. Utapitia gate gani? We saw you at the Royal Botanical. Yeah. It has benches. Tunatembea tuone. The outing.
See this video.
Somewhere in Melbourne Central. It had, like you can see, amazing views, but we didn't have a balcony, just a window. The room was so small. It was just a bed. It's a bed sitter, a basic hotel room. So for 72 hours, it's fine. But 14-day quarantine in that room, definitely you come out a changed person. COVID tests again. So once you get to the hotel the next day, because we got in at night, the next morning a nurse came in and at the door, of course, not inside the hotel, that's nothing. No one is allowed to enter the hotel, the room, and no one is allowed to get out of the room until the 72 hours have elapsed. And they come and get you at your door. Like you're escorted from your door to the lobby, then outside. Once you're outside, fine. Same thing when you're coming in. They pick you at the road, show you to the lobby. From the lobby, then you go and fill more paperwork at the reception. Then where you leave your details and where you consent to be quarantined for 72 hours. And then you're escorted again by another police officer to your room. So it was a bit stressful because we had a lot of luggage, but then those the other thing was, like I was saying, COVID test. So the nurse comes to your room, open the door, knocks at the door, you open, get your test done. They're very thorough. So you do the nose and the throat thing, and then after your results, they tell you. I do not remember well, because I think I can't remember. But in case they don't call you, just know you're negative. In case you're positive, I mean, they do a dramatic exit for you, like ambulance and all. But anyway, then 72, just close to 72 hours. So around, so if you're leaving tomorrow at around 6 p.m., they will come the day before at around 2 p.m. so that by 2 p.m. the next day you have the results and you're good to go. If you're transiting, that is, you need to be aware of the state where you're going to so that you can fill in the forms that are required. So there are things like travel declarations. There are things like saying, like Queensland had closed their borders. So at the moment we're getting in, so they have closed their borders from even other, like the neighboring states where they considered them to have been a hotspot area. So when you're in quarantine and you're transiting to another state, just know if you need like something like an entry pass. But currently Queensland has opened. I think the only state that has remained to open its borders is Western Australia, if there are any restrictions between the two states. So right now, what I know, like for domestic arrivals, if you do 14 days, like if you did 14 days in Melbourne, you would come straight and continue with your life in Queensland. But since you did 72 hours, because you were vaccinated, we did 72 hours, but we still needed to do another 14 mandatory in Queensland. So there's a lot of clauses and sections and things that you need to know, especially if you're transiting through another state. But things get easier. It might seem like a whole mountain, but they are really very straightforward. So the latest update for domestic arrivals is I think they'll be doing rapid antigen tests from 1st of January. That's what they have been doing. You don't have to do a PCR, so you'll do a rapid antigen instead if you're doing now domestic transfers. Have your vaccination certificate. That's another thing you need to know. You have your vaccination certificate either digitally or in paper. Then have your results updated, because they'll keep on asking you wherever you go. They'll keep on asking you. So whatever test you do that is for COVID, just keep it updated and have it with you. If you were to check in at night, this happened to us twice. So we checked in Melbourne at around was it 9 p.m. Yeah, around 9 p.m. Here's the thing. They will tell you that they were not aware that you are coming to the hotel, so there's no dinner for you. The best they can give you is noodles. So like that's a hot meal to them. So noodles is what we go. We didn't get noodles in Melbourne, but we got noodles in Brisbane. But just be prepared. There's no food. So you'll have to, they give you snacks anyway, and snacks are like sultanas, salted crackers, they give you milk, and they give you a fruit, or those small packed things, those packed fruits. So that's what you're supposed to survive on. So I remember when we got to Melbourne, and I had not eaten as much in the plane because there's a lot of turbulence. So that's something I forgot to mention. The journey had a lot of turbulence. So your stomach isn't really cooperating with you. So I did not eat much, or rather we did not eat much on our way in. So you're hungry, you don't know if Uber or Dash or Deliveroo or whatever works here, you don't know, you have an international line first of all, so you can't call. Number two, there's Wi-Fi, thank God. So that's another thing that you need to know. At least the hotel has Wi-Fi. So basically what I'm trying to say is you just landed and you don't know anything, and they have taken you to a hotel and they have not offered you food. Yeah. So it's good to know. At least carry a snack. Be prepared mentally. So just find a way of how you're going to get your like a meal when you get there, especially if you come in at night. Maybe if you have friends or relatives who live in the state that you'll be landing, ask them to bring you something like maybe food or something. That was allowed, but they were contact was not allowed, but they could leave the food at the reception and the reception will bring it in, or you can order. So we finally chap you have to be chap. So we realized that there's Wi-Fi and you can order basically everything, but it was at night. So we had to, if you were to continue without getting like the meals as you wanted, but who would do that? So anyway, in the morning we got our meals, but in case you get there and you feel like, you can't survive the night with snacks, just check on your Uber Eats app or Deliveroo or some just food delivery applications. So that's possible. You can order for something and it is brought at the reception, and then it is brought up to you. If anyone has anything or a hack or something that they did once they were in isolation and is useful, just comment down below. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching till the very end. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye bye, and see you in the next video.